This is Halo Reach. We're on Xbox Series X. This is a game that is found within Halo the Master Chief Collection, but I wanted to take an individual look at each of the individual titles within this package. It's fantastic. It's on Xbox Game Pass. The game is providing a 4K resolution at 120 FPS with HDR support and numerous other features such as adjusting the FOV, and of course some streamlined mechanics. So within Halo Reach, this is a prequel entry within the series. It follows the Noble team, a little bit different from other Halo releases because, you know, you've got a different squad, a different perspective. You're not playing as the Master Chief, and it's very interesting in the sense that you are creating your own unique character and you're jumping into this interesting role. So we're going to do this from the perspective really of someone looking at this as though they've never played the game before and are considering to do so, while also dropping some tidbits for those that have played Halo Reach in the past. And we are focusing specifically on this entry in the series. So this is the beginning of the game, just the opening segment here. We get introduced to Noble as we go in and we try to figure out what's going on here. There's a bit of a mystery, there's some hidden little secrets here or there, and you're basically just experiencing that within the game. So this was a really great last entry from Bungie back in the day. It was really spectacular and it did a lot of interesting things. Oh, the MOA, they're so cool. And we will be showing off the multiplayer for a good chunk of this experience so that you can see it in action, and also the Firefight mode, because Reach had its own Firefight mode, and it's great to see that that is still available within this game. So this is a really great campaign experience. We'll also be showing off the 120 FPS option, so you can kind of see that in action. We'll be talking about that later. But yeah, the game just had a lot of content to it, a really great narrative-driven campaign that had featured just absolutely gorgeous locations and backdrops and so many surprising moments the whole way through. Like with traditional Halo titles, it has skulls to change things up. When I was doing actually my main Chief Collection review, I had a 10 skulls on. I was wondering why it was so hardcore, and yeah, that was the reason. But yeah, you can have the skulls, time trials, all kinds of different things, score trials too if you want to reach certain scores and compete against others. It's got 4-player co-op, so you can play with your friends, and again, an expansive multiplayer offering. It's just kind of a really well done entry in the series, and definitely worth your time. It's a lot of fun. It provides a good challenge, a unique selection of levels, whether you're running around on foot or getting into vehicles as you work with this squad in order to fend off the enemies that are invading Reach, which is a very interesting planet within the Halo universe and lore. It's just really great to see that being presented here. And while there was a book that kind of came out prior, this sort of doesn't really follow that in any particular way. It's just a very well done sort of experience, a beautiful game. It really does shine through here. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I think it will definitely surprise many that jump into it. Because while it seems like it's action-packed at this certain point, it is definitely one of the more somber entries in the series in regards to how characters are handled. It's a story of desperation and destruction, and basically seeing this place kind of fall apart while you very, again, desperately try to fend off the invading Covenant forces that, you know, have arrived. And, well, I mean, they've obviously arrived. We've been battling them for the last few minutes, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. You're trying to do that while also uncovering some other surprises along the way, experiencing some really different things for Halo titles. And it's just such a well-done time. I absolutely do really adore this entry in the series. It's so good. I spent so many hours playing this alone, with friends, with people online. It's just very memorable, and these elites are so insanely hardcore. Their roundhouse kicks are just deadly. But yeah, these guys definitely put up a good fight and are a good threat. Well, these MOA things are hilarious, but it's also like a more lively place. Like, you look here and it just feels like more of a natural location. You see that with like the wildlife on the different levels and, you know, the different setups, the different situations. It's just really, really well done and surprising in so many different ways. It's such an interesting and exciting experience to behold, whether you're playing the campaign, whether you're competing with others online, or you're enjoying what the Firefight has to offer. It's just, you know, such a wealth of content, such a beautiful selection of locations, and such a wondrous game. I really did love playing this. I have so many fond memories of what it has to offer, and the various setups that are present within this game across the different experiences. But with that, we're going to switch over to show off the Firefight mode so you can see that action. But yeah, it runs beautifully and it looks fantastic on the console. Just stunning. So this is the Firefight mode. This is a PvE version of the experience. You're working in a group of 4 players online. You can do custom games, obviously, which is what I'm doing. And there's different variations too. This was a great expansion over what was present within Halo 3 ODST's Firefight. I think they did a really great job with it in regards to expanding the scope of the levels and the design of the scoring system and everything like that. You have different fun little things with it. We're doing Rocket Fight because it's just a little bit more easier going. But yeah, you jump in with friends, you jump in alone, and you just battle waves of enemies as you try to survive as long as possible or to reach the certain score counters. It's generally just a very well done sort of experience. I think it's kind of entertaining, it's kind of unique, and yeah, it's just kind of a nice extra. Because, you know, Halo needs to offer something for all the different types of gamers, and if you don't directly like competing with people, you won't necessarily enjoy the multiplayer experience. So by having this sort of, I don't know, almost additional extra mode, you really are catering to those that like more of a cooperative type of multiplayer-focused experience, the PvE. And I think that's where this comes in perfectly. I remember spending way too many hours doing the goals in order to earn credits by like working through this kind of thing, grinding away at it. And it's still fun. It really is. And I mean, it looks beautiful too. It's definitely different. And I know people might expect more like high octane action, but it can get pretty crazy, especially when you get to like the grunt apocalypse types things. Those ones are fun and crazy. But there's so many different ways that you can interact with it, and so many fun moments you could have. He was really flying around there. That was really entertaining. But yeah, you're just bending off these forces, trying to have a good time while doing so, scaling enemies, scaling challenges. It's just really great. And again, you can matchmake for this. You don't have to, you know, find people to play with. It'll find them for you, and you can have a really good time together, battling these forces on a great selection of different maps and levels, and having so much fun doing so with your custom Spartan that just kind of carries across the experience, which I think is just a wonderful sort of thing to have present with this one. They really have done such a good job with the Master Chief Collection. It's unbelievable. And I can jump in here and re-showcase these games again for new people to possibly play Halo for the first time. To me, that's truly exciting, because I love these games, and it's so nice to once again just be blasting away grunts and having a good excuse to share it, because I don't necessarily have, I don't know, a reason a lot of the time to jump in here and be like, hey, here's some Halo gameplay and stuff like that. So it's just exciting for me, really, is what it is. You know, I love playing these games so much, and showing off this Firefight's kind of fun, because it's not really a mode I would even have much of a reason to do, except for this particular situation. You know, you don't really have a lot of time to sit here and have fun playing when I'm doing so much work and stuff. So it's great to have an excuse to dive in here and just annihilate these forces. Oh, get some reinforcements, nice. And I mean, they're pretty large level. What's that guy doing? They're pretty large levels, and there's, again, a good selection of them, good variations, many different ways to play this, many different ways to experience the combat and the setup, and it all runs perfectly. No issues at all, just smooth, no matter how insane the chaos gets, no matter how action-packed any of the moments are. You get to jump in here and have a good time battling away in this excellent package. Now it's time for the multiplayer. This is the multiplayer aspect of Halo Reach. There are a ton of maps and modes, and I'll also mention that it does also have the Forge, so that you can create intense maps, or you can fool around, or you can share maps or play on maps that others have made. And you've also got like Forge World with that, which is kind of absolutely fantastic. So the multiplayer in this entry of the series is a little bit different from the other ones, because instead of the BR, we have the DMR, which is definitely unique, and I shouldn't have grabbed the sniper and jumped in there to do that. Usually I just go for the rockets, but that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, it's a lot different than you'd be used to for the battle rifle, because you have the DMR here, so it's kind of an interesting change up for the multiplayer, and it's definitely unique. So this map is also a little bit more unique in the sense that you are having this low gravity area in the middle, which is kind of cool. So this is an objective based thing. You've got like flag play, you know, you get infection. There's so many different ways to engage with Reach. It was really just massively wild. And while I am showing off arena based combat, a lot of the fun of this one was big team battle. They did a lot for BTB in this release, which was kind of exciting. And that's where you have larger scale battles where players are jumping into, you know, vehicles such as, oh good, both sides had one quit. That's better than having uneven teams. But yeah, you know, you get different vehicles, and it was definitely large in scale. And I just remember having so much fun playing this with friends. It was a very interesting point in life in regards to when this came out and who I played it with. And yeah, definitely had some memorable moments as I did the Forge maps and everything like that. I used to do this thing called Halo Map Readers, where I used to play and review Forge maps and stuff, and that was really fun. And that was also just part of the experience I had, spending so many hours playing this game and having so much fun. Had a lot of interesting friends come and go after the, well, during and after the Reach era. It was just a very interesting sort of game. I definitely did quite like it. I think it beautifully upscales. It had some of the most greatest backdrops ever in the Halo series in regards to like outside of the maps. They look just crazy. I wish we could show off the, I think it's Anchor or something like that. It's kind of this crazy, beautiful backdrop when you're in space. It looks crazy. But yeah, it's just really fun, epic multiplayer. And I think it still holds up very well today as being something exciting and challenging. Why are you running away? They're coming from both sides. Ugh. And you know, you get that element of playing together. There's like gritty medals, which I'm not sure if, because we have the combined medals, if that's showing there. But also on top of that, you know, you get the great announcer, and just so many ways to compete and battle one another. There was Invasion, which was sort of like a different take on things. The elites versus the Spartans and stuff. It was just kind of neat. And the evolution of like armor ability type elements being mixed into the gameplay. Nobody likes armor lock. Always remember that. Armor lock is a no fun thing for everyone, but yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's great to be able to showcase the multiplayer element of this game, because it is something I still enjoy and play regularly. In the Chief Collection, it's definitely on my list of stuff I like to try out and enjoy. Oh crap. That was close. That was very, very close. But yeah, it still feels super competitive and gripping. And if you could play this at 120 FPS, oh wow, it's so good. Yeah, the rockets aren't back yet. I guess I could begin sniping. That might be cool. It just kind of had epic play, and you know, they were trying to do more competitive arena stuff too at the time, which was kind of epic. I don't know. Definitely an enjoyable sort of experience. And oh, it looks like we won, so we'll be able to show off another match here, which is great. So one element that I totally would have forgotten if this map didn't show up was this actually had a nice little anniversary tie-in with Halo. So we got some of the original Combat Evolved maps sort of, you know, redone in this one, which was really neat. It was a specific selection of extra levels, and that was really cool at the time. I guess if I hadn't really mentioned it enough earlier, crossplay, mouse and keyboard support too, you know, different input options for how you want to jump in here. I got that guy. Where'd the rockets go, though? Not the smartest play, but yeah, just really great action-packed competitive multiplayer. Really, he got the rockets up there? That's disappointing. And so many different modes. It really felt like a fully complete version of Halo. Like, you know, it launched with just absolutely everything you needed to have the most expansive and craziest entry in the series. it really just sent Bungie out on like a bang with this one. So well loved, so many neat times to it. I really do still enjoy jumping in and battling people in the multiplayer, because it feels really, really intense, especially in regards to, like, you know, the different weapons and stuff you use. They had some neat change-ups for the series, that's for sure. They definitely revamped things a lot. And then you get, like, the cool, again, Forge World creations. They had so many cool maps based on what Forge World had provided, which was this huge canvas, and they had remade maps in that too, and it was just kind of a good tease of what, you know, Forge World had to offer. I don't know why I'm trying to no-scope that guy across there. It's just not going to work. Be pure luck if it happened. But yeah, neat weapons, neat tools, neat variations on the particular weapons of the past, while also adding a few new ones that actually fit into the game in unique ways. On top of that, like, again, the Forge was just kind of unmatched, like, just the scope of it and what they were able to achieve using that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And then I really like also just how the DMR is sort of handled too. Initially I wasn't hugely into it, but then once you kind of get the technique of how the gun works, it's this nice little variation from just the BR that you see in every other Halo. I still am definitely a BR primary player, that's for sure, when I get the option. Some of them you get to kind of choose between them, but it is kind of a neat mix up on this one. I want the sword. I thought I had 2 grenades. Crap. I think you only get 1 with King of the Hill. Oh, thank you for the sword. Oh, it's only got 10 on it? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I remember so many good times. The infection on this is fantastic too. It's like a zombies thing. They really amped up what you could do in that regard, which was so exciting. So many like creative ways to play this. I totally missed the sword lunge there, which is embarrassing. No sword for you. I don't know, it just feels still as fresh as it did back in the day. I remember this being such an epic and well done entry in the series. I just played it like day after day, and you know, they had the big beta for it and everything, which was such a big deal. It brings back so many great memories, and ones I'm still making today when you pull off some crazy moves and stuff like that. It's wild how impactful a game can be and how long you can enjoy a game for. Because there's so many games nowadays you probably, you know, think you'll play for a while and then you forget about over time, but this one I've just continued to enjoy for like a decade. Over a decade now, I think. It's crazy. It truly is absolutely crazy at the time of recording, right? And it's nice to have an excuse to come in here and fully show off what this game has to offer. Really give a good presentation of it to help you, you know, understand what is present within this release of the series, how it kind of plays, how it runs, and giving a good taste of the multiplayer. Also because I have a lot of fun with the multiplayer, so I like showing off it and stuff because I don't really get too many chances to. That's kind of really exciting for me to jump in here and just keep showing Halo. Like, it's one of my favorite games. It's kind of a little bit emotional, but it's interesting. And you just play this all the time. Jump in here, and I think there's going to be a lot of longevity to this package, the Chief Collection in general. You know, being able to play all these games in one spot is going to go really far in regards to offering, you know, long-term gameplay. Something that's going to be here for now, and hopefully gaming generations to come. You know, maybe someday I'll be able to re-review this freshly again, because I've done it before on the 1X and stuff like that, so it's just kind of a game that keeps me wanting to come back. It's weird, like some games, you know, you review them and it's like, okay, whatever it is, what it is. And there's some where it's just like, yeah, I just want to keep playing and playing and playing. I did like the midnight for this and everything back in the day when they used to do those. It just holds a lot of memorable soft spots in regards to my like gaming history and what I've experienced over the years. Just absolutely crazy to be able to jump in here and have a good time. Oh, like I had the rocket launcher. Oh geez, but I think we're getting close to basically wrapping up our experience with Halo Reach, which is a little disheartening, but always more Halo to showcase. I thought that guy had the rocket launcher. What happened? Oh geez, I'm gonna get smacked in the back. Good recreation of the map though. See teabagging, that's not cool. But yeah, that is Halo Reach within Halo the Master Chief Collection on Game Pass, readily available for you to enjoy the full scope. of this great entry in the series. So I hope you enjoyed this look at it. This is a brief look at the 120 FPS option within the game, so that you can kind of see that. Again, YouTube cannot show 120 FPS. I cannot record at 120 FPS, so hopefully you can see some of the detailed advantage of this higher frame rate, which is incredible.